Villanova needs 8 for a title. Bang!
There's the emotion.
There it is.
Boom! Jordan Richard.
Champion again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sooner Bowl here in Norman, Oklahoma. It is the finals of the PWBA Oklahoma Regional. Good evening to all of you on a wonderful 24-lane bowling center and hosted a fantastic 8 games of qualifying and competition. My name is Emil Williams Jr., and tonight pleased to be joined by formerly Nicole DePaul, and now Nicole Landry is in the building. She got a chance to compete on this 41-foot lane condition that we will talk about as well. But first and foremost, Nicole, thank you for joining me. Great to see you. How you been?
I have been fine. Thank you for asking.
Well, I know, of course, we'll talk about it a little bit, but you are from or living in the Houston area now. Obviously, a lot of hurricane remnants, of course, power and such. How has that been for you? I know you had to make an earlier trip to Oklahoma.
We did. We have been without power since Monday when the storm came through, and we made a decision to come up to Oklahoma sooner. We wanted to have some AC.
No pun intended, by the way.
Right?
How about that?
Right?
Oklahoma Sooner. Well done.
And so we brought our dogs up here and found out yesterday power came back to the house. It was on for about 4 hours and then was off. And we got notification this afternoon it's back on. So I'm hoping tomorrow when we drive back, we have some AC in the house. We didn't have any damage. For those of you who've ever lived in the Houston area, Galveston area, you know hurricanes can destroy cities and lose power and trees. So it was mostly tree damage.
It's great news, and hopefully everything is getting back to normal for those, and certainly in the area and the surrounding communities. This opening match, Nicole, will feature Brittany Kinney and Shelby Davis, 2 collegiate players, 1 former and 1 current. Brittany Kinney was the leader. And I kept count. She was the leader for games 1, 2, and 3, and game 5, but she hadn't dropped out of 1 or 2 until the final game, where she almost backed her way out of the cut number. Shelby Davis on the other side was kind of moving on up slowly but surely, and through the first shot in the 10th frame to kind of ensure a spot. We've got 2 players, Nicole, who, bowling not their first regional, or excuse me, Shelby is bowling her first regional. Brittany is bowling, I believe, her third. She's bowled a couple before. So the inexperience in that situation is vital. But how would you kind of handle from their perspective? Not a lot of experience. You're kind of in this now pressure-packed environment, if you will. How would you handle that?
The key for most of us who are out here on the road doing tournaments like these is to stay in the moment, focus one shot at a time, pay attention to the transition, and know what's going on around you as we move pair to pair. When you're inexperienced and you're not quite sure what goes on with the transition on the tour, you have to figure out a way to stay ahead of it. And so Shelby is the only lefty in this television pair, which means she's going to have potentially lots of opportunities. So if she stays ahead of the transition on her side, she's got a good shot of making it through the stepladder today.
The higher seed here is Shelby Davis. And again, she went from 5th to 3rd. Again, 5th to 3rd in the final game by shooting 216. Brittany Kinney was just hanging tight, making sure. The one thing I actually said was, well, as long as she doesn't open in the last 2 frames, she should be good. She opened in the 10th frame and then had to sweat it out for a little bit.
The scores around me when I was bowling the qualifying block, it was a lot of spare shooting issues. You had to keep your spares to keep your scores up. And, when you're watching this tournament, if you're missing spares, you're not going to make the top 4 at all because the pattern played differently from pair to pair for us.
First shot for the Southpaw, Shelby Davis from LaPorte, Texas. 21 years old. Started bowling, much like all of us, at the tender age of 7 years old.
She's
Nice
certainly mature. She's acting mature out there. She's focused. You can't see the nerves going right now, which shows her determination to get out there, throw the first shot.
That's a great point in regards to nerves, because she did say she was a little nervous throughout the, not the full competition certainly, but during a little bit.
I think some of the ladies out here, when they see us players coming from the big tour, it's like, oh, we have to compete against them.
First shot for Brittany Kinney. Bang.
Beautiful, beautiful.
This is a young lady, speaking of Brittany Kinney, as we take a look at the, I should say, at the full qualifying standings, and I'll share those here with you in just a little bit. But Kinney out the gate shot 258, 230. And so it's funny how things shape out, right? In an 8-game block, there's so much that can happen. But her start suggested, obviously, that she had a good command on the fresh. And then as the day went on, of course, she had to manage. She talked about moving left, but couldn't be in the track area because it was burning up, of course, too quickly, starting too early. And I was wondering, if she gets in an opening match scenario, she's going to be favored in that sense. Just because of her start on the fresh earlier this morning, that one goes high.
It did. She missed it a touch inside, and today, if you missed it a touch inside, it was going to go Brooklyn, or it was going to go high flush, or it was going to, in some cases, go 247. It all depends on where you hit it too much inside of the shot. So for her shot right here, she just a touch inside and not enough to get it out to the right to let it pick up in the right spot.
Spare is handled. Nicole, I mentioned that you bowled on the pattern. Here is the pattern.
Yes.
It's 41 feet. It was 21.8 mils, 2.47 to 1 symmetrical on both left and right. A little bit different from the graph that we normally see, of course.
We had a Brunswick lane machine out here today putting our pattern out.
Back to bowling.
Just a little too far to the left. She missed it just a touch. Again, this tricky pattern, you had to be on where you needed to be to let the ball walk into the pocket. And if you missed to the left or you missed to the right, you were going to end up leaving something, we hope, makeable. There were a lot of splits today. I saw a lot of pocket 7-10s, pocket 8s, pocket 9s.
Especially on the fresh.
Yes.
Hook a little. Just enough. The reaction says it all.
Good thing she handles it well.
Sometimes, folks, it's just simply about the reaction.
I think once her nerves settle, she'll start to get more comfortable with where she needs to play. And we probably will see some cleaner shots off of her hand.
If you're just joining us, opening match here, Oklahoma Regional Sooner Bowl. Shelby Davis, the Southpaw, looking for her first strike. May have got that one right. It is right, but leave something she can make.
I think all of us were excited when we were able to leave something which is makeable today. I didn't get a chance to look at the spread for the scores. I'm curious to see what the spread is going across the field, and if part of it was because of our spare shooting for today.
It would be a interesting note. Good spare.
She picked it up.
There were a lot of mismakeables, but from the split perspective too, right?
Yes, yeah.
Very tough to make splits, but I did see a fair share of splits made. A couple 4-9s. I saw 2 6-7s made today. Yeah.
Wow. Where was I when this was happening? I did pick up buckets, or I did pick up a couple of washouts today for me. I saw a lot of ladies who had the 4-7-10 and pick it up.
Here's Kenny. That one is a little bit outside. And speaking of splits, the old dreaded 210.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like she had some footing issues. Either she stuck or she overslid and tried to stop herself. And when that happens, typically we try to get the ball off of our hand as fast as possible.
Hello to our wonderful people watching here on Bowl TV. Of course, we got the regulars in the building. I see Larry and Jim, Thomas, Kim, Brendan, Melmac is now in the building as well as Kenny. Will take one, and now will find herself here trailing. Here in the match, 24 years old, from Columbia City, Indiana. Brother Anthony and Dad Tony, they are here. Hello to Mom Felicia, who's watching back at home. Fourth frame. And that one is through the nose. Now, what do we think Brittany is now seeing here, Nicole?
It looks like she's trying to play more inside and is not getting it a little too much, or not enough to the right, and playing it a little bit more inside. In her case, she's got the ball speed and the rev rate. I would make a 2-in-1 move and open up to get it out to the right, to the break point, to let it come back into the pocket. It was something she had talked about when you were meeting with her and asking her about where she was playing on the lanes. I think for her next adjustment, when she's going back to lane 20, I'm guessing she's going to make a move, or she's going to do a ball change.
Just one strike between both of these competitors through 3.5 complete frames. Back to Davis, who threw just a powerful shot, first one of the 10th in game 8 to kind of seal a spot. That's better. Bang.
Yeah, right where she needed to go. She let the ball do its job out there. Didn't miss left, didn't miss right. Beautiful shot off of her hand.
Shelby Davis mentioned, talk about the collegiate pedigrees for both of these players. Shelby represents Oklahoma Christian.
We had a lot of college players today.
It was great.
It was awesome to see. It was something I had mentioned to my husband last week. I was looking at the roster, and I was like, there's a lot of college players bowling this tournament today.
That's better, too.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yes, absolutely. And she used it a little bit to the left as well to allow it to drive better into the pocket and carry everything out. It was a beautiful shot off her hand.
Here's a look at the shot on the right lane on your screen now from Shelby. Talented lefty. And it's been a good year for lefties on the PWBA tour.
Yes. Other one I can think of is Shannon Pluhowski.
Yeah, Sherry Tan has been great as well.
Yes.
Now seeing some collegiate talent here. Now Kenny with her work cut out for her. Looks down again and misses the head pin right.
I feel like she's having some footing issues. Like she's not able to get the slide she needs to cleanly get the ball off of her hand. And it's pushing it to the right. Usually when we're trying to play a certain shot, if we're missing to the right, it's a slide issue or a footwork issue.
Kenny, this is something that Nicole can speak to. She is a quality engineer for a medical device manufacturer. As we watch the 1-2-4-7 attempt, and she chops it.
Wow. I also saw that happen a lot today, where it looked like we were picking up our spares, and then at the last second, a plane would go around it and end up leaving an open. I think what she needs to do for this next shot is regroup, let go of what happened, figure out what's going to work out there, and go out there and execute.
Hello to Claudia, by the way, as well. Folks, we will have 3 bowling ball giveaways. The first will be after this opening match. Kenny, what feels like a must-strike scenario.
That was
delivers.
better shot. Her footwork worked. Her swing was beautiful. It came off of her hand beautiful. She was right where she needed to be on the lanes. That was a beautiful shot.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the opening match of the PWBA Oklahoma Regional. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Nicole Landry has joined me in the booth for the stepladder finals. 3 matches. The winner to earn $1,600 today. If someone should shoot $300, by the way, in the stepladder finals, there is a $1,000 bonus attached to that as well. Davis for 3 in a row. Oh, Shelby.
Light mixer, look at that. Light mixer. She didn't think she was going to get it into the pocket. You watched what her body language is trying to push the ball, push the ball, push the ball, and light mixer carried for her.
Light mixers seem to be a very good idea today.
Here, yes, especially on this pattern, especially on the lane surface with the topography across the facility. It was hotter on one end than on the other, and so sometimes those mixers made for a better score. It really did.
That was something that the number 2 seed actually saw a lot of, and that was Esther Chi. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Davis again. You bet.
Again, another mixer.
So Esther Chia went through a stretch where she probably had somewhere between, I'm going to say about 12 to 14 9 spares in a 2-game stretch. Okay. She never left the zone she was in, right? She was around somewhere between 5 and 8. But she never lost control of the pocket. It was just about if she could get the 10-pin out.
Get the carry.
And then, she makes subtle moves, right? Now all of a sudden you're leaving 4 pins. You go ball change. You give yourself a little bit more energy on the back. 9-pin. And that's what she went through. It's Brittany Kinney right now going through it. And unfortunately, not the same look. And that's the difference, of course, right? You get out the gates well in qualifying, but stepladders, you just never really know what you're going to get, even though obviously the lanes have been re-oiled.
Well, the difference, I think, too, with the stepladder is the amount of time they've gotten to practice on the pair versus when we're in a tournament environment. We're going from 10 minutes of practice to going straight into the competition. So she may not be comfortable because what's playing out here now is not what she saw for the first couple of games on the fresh.
Spare from Kenny, or Brittany, who went to Indiana Tech.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, spent 4 years there. Won national championship, NAIA national championship in 2021. For the runner-ups in 2019.
Indiana Tech is a storied program. They have created one of the best in the NAIA. Their players are fantastic at mental and physical game. Her making the show shows and speaks volume of what Indiana Tech has done to create her game.
Look a little. And as Aaron Smith would say, the old bucket and the biscuits.
He says that?
He does. That's where I got it from. 100%. Shout out to Aaron Smith. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, the practice on the pair, of course, all of the above. She is throwing a similar, probably the same bowling ball that she threw on the fresh this morning, which I think was, if I had to guess based on what she said, maybe the hustle, RIP.
I think so. Yeah. When we were talking with her, she was talking about the 2 balls she used. She used a motive ball and she used the hustle as well.
Yeah, the other was the motive blue coral venom. It was one thing that I noticed pretty early. Good spare from Brittany. Seeing something shiny go down the lane. And at the time, it made a lot of sense to me. Slower ball speed, but she still gets a little bit on it, right? And so, something early to just kind of get through the fronts and what we assumed would be a high-scoring surface. They are bowling on HPLs. A lot of traffic, too, here at Sooner Bowl. And it resulted in fantastic scores, but not here in this opening match in the stepladder. Davis.
Missed it a touch to the left.
She's not in any danger yet.
No, she's not. And she still has a possibility of picking this up, too. The kickbacks here are good to us with these types of splits, and seeing how they bounce off to pick up the corners when we do have these types of washouts. She's got a chance to pick it up. Maybe.
And she'll get the count. And now 171. In the 8th, the max score for Kinney is 187. So, all intents and purposes, right? Stay clean.
Stay clean, stay calm, cool, collected. Keep the nerves at bay. When she was getting her pre-shot routine, you could tell she was taking a deep breath to relax herself before she gets up to throw her shot. That looks a little bit, oh, it's okay. A little bit inside again.
She just took a nice deep breath and exhale coming off the approach too. That almost was trouble. And that would have really put Kenny in a situation where she steps up and strikes in the 9th and throws all 3 in the 10th. Then she's forcing Davis potentially to get a mark.
Yeah.
Or at least a high count in the 10th frame. But this spare is still important.
Foundation frame.
Oh, it's left. Way left.
And the nerves, we talked about this. The nerves will get to you when you know you're in a pressure situation like this. How to control those nerves going into a shot you need. This does open up the door for Brittany potentially.
There is a path for Brittany Kinney to come back and kind of steal this match. But it's going to take a phenomenal effort. Her ball reaction, of course, has not been the best in this match. But here she is, 9th frame.
It's got a chance to come back. Again, missed it a little outside, just a little bit.
And that's going to do it mathematically. Shelby Davis will advance. It just seems like she's a little further right than what we saw this morning.
Yeah, and I've watched her throw a little bit, even though she was further away from me in practice. I was watching where she was at, and she was more inside than a majority of the ladies at the start. So a lot of the ladies wanted to play more straight up the boards, and she has the rev rate to do it, which helps on something like this, especially with HPLs in the track area. And it might be because it's a little colder in here now. There's nobody in here, so the heat and the temperature of the center created a lot more transition. So her thought process could have been maybe it was still there, and I'm going to try this, and making the adjustments fast.
Here's a good one.
It was a good shot. It's where she needed to be for the match.
Well, I can tell you this about Brittany Kinney. I've seen her a few times now. She bowled the PTQ at the Rockford Open earlier this season on the national tour. Advanced from the PTQ. Didn't bowl the best in the main field, but a lot of learning that she did there. A couple of events from the regional perspective. I mean, I think she has got a great foundation, a lot of tools that will get you to the winner's circle, and this is exactly what we're looking for.
More and more of these college players coming out. We're seeing this influx of these college players who are more prepared than previous years, and if we currently look at the season we've got going on right now on the women's tour, these ladies are killing it out there, and it scares people like me who I only got a year and a half, and then I'm going to be 50, so.
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
How about that?
I know, right? I know. I keep asking if we're going to have a PWBA 50 tour.
That's a good question.
Because these young ladies, they're coming in with tools I never had as a starting out professional, and so the more they build these tools, eventually these young kids are going to run over us old people.
Quick shout out to the Tacketts as well. Brittany mentioned how influential both Zach and EJ have been to her game. So shout out to the Tacketts. Well, I tell you what, Shelby Davis, she had obviously a great stretch in frames from 4 through 7.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the ending is not what she would have drawn up.
Sometimes the nerves get the best of us when we're trying to do well.
To some degree, I feel like it's a good thing that we're seeing this, right? Because, obviously, even myself, right, and our fans and our viewers, we're used to seeing the best of the best at the national level, right, in these stepladder finals, they never look nervous, right? Every now and then you see a random unforced error and a missed single pin, but it's very few and far between. I feel like in a regional setting, right, we're literally getting every piece of authenticity
Absolutely.
from all these players.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's amazing about our regional program is it's giving these ladies an opportunity to compete at a level which could prepare them for the national tour in the future. And it's the diversity of the regional program, which is what I love so much, meeting new people and seeing these college players and giving them a chance to see what it's like to truly bowl under pressure in an environment like this.
Yeah, and this is great, too. And Art makes a great point, right? This is the point of the regional tour. This is where you learn, is his comment.
Yes.
And we get spoiled by watching the best of the best do what they do. And I know the best of the best also get nervous because they tell me these things.
Yeah, they do. And
off camera.
They do, of course. but on camera, what they do is they find a way to harness this nervousness, and you can't see it. You're not seeing it. I talk with a lot of my teammates on my brand, and I give you an example of Dasha Kovalova, and I know sometimes she gets nervous out there, and I don't know how she does it. I ask her all the time, how do you do it? How do you harness this nervousness when you have to go and you're bowling for the USPC Queens title or you're bowling for the Louisville title? And I don't know how she does it. I really don't.
That's a great point. And speaking of brands, well, it's time for the first of 3 bowling ball giveaways here, folks.
Oh,
Again,
what are we giving away?
If you're watching in full screen, please get out of full screen right now. I'd certainly appreciate that because that'd be good for you to see all of the lower third prompts. Who's our number 1 seed, Raina Davis, getting some time on the lanes. Of course, our number 2 seed, Esther Chia, also getting some time. We'll see Esther here in one moment. She will face Shelby Davis. We've got a Brunswick bowling ball for you. Again, if you are watching in full screen, please get out of full screen so you can see the lower third prompts. I do not want you to be upset and drop in the chat that you didn't see any prompts because you got to get out of full screen to do so. All right.
Do we know what Brunswick ball we're giving away?
I don't want to assume, but I think it's a Brunswick bowling ball of choice.
Wow.
But I don't know.
Cool.
I do not know. In the past, we have been, some have been very direct on what ball it is. This one says Brunswick bowling ball, so hey, and there's a lot to choose from. Bowl Expo just took place, so a lot of new releases out there.
Yeah.
The giveaway is officially underway, folks. So make sure you're out of full screen. When you see submit entry, that's your cue. All you have to do is click submit entry. That is all you have to do to be entered. We will be giving away, of course, Brunswick right now. Then we've got Storm and a Hammer still to follow, and those will be back to back because we are without an additional match, like on the national tour, for example. And so because of that, we will we'll give away 2 bowling balls. So as soon as our semifinal match is done, we're giving away 2 bowling balls.
And maybe somebody will win both of them.
That's never happened, but I think it could today.
You never know. I'll throw my little magic out there for the people putting their names in for the...
Well, I mean, Diane Sykes already won a bowling ball. She won a motor bowling ball at the end of qualifying today.
Oh, wow.
So we actually gave away 4. We're giving away 4 total today and 2 Bowl TV T-shirts. So maybe Diane might win.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you to the manufacturers for helping us out and doing this to continue promoting our brands.
The funny thing, too, is there's a lot of folks in the chat. Make sure you click submit entry, folks. Diane dropped a thumbs up emoji literally right before she won. And I was asking a question, and we were talking about, who doesn't like back-to-back bowling ball giveaways. And she gave a thumbs up. As soon as it happened, she won. So now everyone is putting the thumbs up in. Breakpoint Pro. That's a nice name, but whoever it is, you got yourself a Brunswick bowling ball. So congratulations, Breakpoint Pro.
Nice.
You too are a winner.
I can only imagine some of the names you see in this bowling chat.
Well, they had to put some locks and keys on some of these things, because folks get a little carried away. Folks got a little carried away. All right, so again, Breakpoint Pro, you've won a Brunswick bowling ball. Congratulations again. The marketing squad of Bowl TV will be in touch, and they will be emailing you. So be on the lookout for that. I'd give it 7 to 14 business days as standard practice at this point. Junior Gold is happening along with a lot of other stuff this week, so give them at least 14 days, and hopefully they will have contacted you. If you don't hear anything within that time frame, send an email to marketing@bowl.com. Okay, Nicole DePaul, now Nicole Landry.
You have to get used to calling me by my married name again, huh?
Yes. Esther, I just talked about what Esther has done basically throughout the day. And she's going to be, I anticipate, in the same zone. She's going to be right of 10. We talked about the carry that she ran into, or lack thereof, I should say. We just watched some of her practice shots. Looked pretty good to me. What did you see?
It looks like she's got a ball in her hand, which is creating more of an arc motion, giving her flexibility to potentially miss a slight amount to the right and allowing it to walk into the pocket. Hard to see which one. I think she's throwing the Ruby IQ, I think. Right? I don't know all the bowling ball names anymore. There's too many of them.
Yeah, I will give that a look, but it is that color, certainly.
She's consistently played the same part of the pattern, same play, part of the lane today. Again, she's got the ability to get the ball to shape like what we needed here for carry. The key for her is trying to find something which is going to allow her to kick out those corners and prevent her from leaving solid 9s and solid 8 pins. And then looking with Shelby. Shelby's throwing the same ball she was throwing before. Looked like she was in the same area. Being, again, the only lefty on the pair, she's able to keep the transition in front of her. So hopefully she'll utilize it to her advantage when she's starting the match.
Esther Chia, the number 2 seed, taking on Shelby Davis, the number 3 seed. Esther has elected to allow Shelby to open. And so it will be Shelby Davis on the left lane, the left-hander. First shot.
Missed it to the left, didn't pick up in the right spot. That could be nerves. It looks like she threw it harder too, touch harder as well. I think watching across the center, slower ball speed, higher rev rate was golden here, where you let the ball do the work instead of trying to force it down the lane.
Super washout. That's got a chance.
Ooh, she got right in the middle.
Great attempt. But now the early open, and well, that's what you don't want to do against a player like Esther Chia.
No, absolutely not. I'm guessing she's in town. Is she bowling Lucy in a couple weeks? Do you know if she's bowling Lucy?
I think, well, I'll tell you in a moment. First shot. 6 pin, a little lazy. No contact on the 10, but when Esther really didn't strike, and this is honest, I watched her for a 2-game stretch in this area here on the high end, and it was either weak 10, wrap 10, 4 pin, 10 pin, 10 pin. And so, you know, I think she literally just spent a couple games trying to figure out what's the best entry angle or what ball is going to allow me to get all 10 down.
With her ball exiting the pin deck the way it is, she's got to find something which is going to continue through and kick out the corners and, again, kick out the 8 and the 9 pin. All it takes is one miss to the right or one miss to the left, and your leaves are either 10 pin, 7 pin, pocket 8, or pocket 9.
Esther, of course, from Malaysia. So to your question about the Lucy, the last time I spoke with, or not directly to Esther, but I was talking to Jane Sin about something for an upcoming article. And Esther was on the subboard, theoretically. 6 into the 10 that time.
Yeah.
She was looking for a partner and had everybody kind of looking for a partner for her. So I think they got the word out. And the wonderful Donna Connors and Brenda looking at trying to figure out a way. And according to Bob in the chat, it looks like they may have found her a partner.
Wow.
Which is fantastic.
We've had a lot of international players this year on our tour, from Sweden to Germany, Malaysia, Singapore. And again, Shelby's up, missed to the left, did not pick up in the right spot for her.
When I looked at the roster for this week, and you start thinking about players who you would anticipate making an impact and who could reach the step ladder finals, Esther Chia stood out to me. I think she was the most experienced player in the field this weekend, and that's just not just from the PWBA aspect, but obviously she's won gold medals in multiple countries, right, around the world.
Yes.
And so, with that understanding, it's like it'd be hard to imagine not having Esther Chi in the top 4. Great shot, by the way, from Shelby Davis.
What's even more interesting is she has not gotten a PWBA title.
And not yet. She has made a show. And to my knowledge, this is her first, I didn't get a chance to speak with her, but first regional event. But now she's got a chance to be a regional champion.
Okay, Shelby threw that one much better. Again, light mixer. It's what's working here today.
It's a good shot there, an even better one now for Shelby. And, just trying to be in the moment, right? Raina Davis talked to us about that. Our #1 seed. She will face the winner of this Davis-Chia match. Talking about staying in the moment. A little bit of that as well here for Shelby Davis. Chia, I believe it is an IQ Ruby, by the way. Nicole, and high flush.
It looked like she made an adjustment, just a touch to the right with her footwork, and she played more up the boards and allowed it to walk into the pocket. She's had the ability to play more outside than a lot of us today. Had the right ball in her hand. And like you said, got to get it into the pocket with the right entry angle to get everything to carry out.
I mean, literally, she has just not left this zone. And there was no reason to. She had complete command of the 1-3. P.O. ball. Bang.
Nice. Nice. Same area. Let the ball do the work. Got it into the pocket with the right angle.
Quick look at her shot on the right lane. That's the area she's been in. Good looking shot. Excellent result. And all of a sudden, Gia, spare 3-bagger out in front here early over Shelby Davis.
Another
nice
mixer.
rebound. Nice rebound. Nice double.
Another mixer. So she's got to think going into this next shot, does she want to continue to utilize the light mixers or does she want to make an adjustment? It looks like the ball's starting to roll up a little for her, at least based on what we're seeing up here. And if she's okay with doing the light mixers because it is carrying for her, might as well stick with it.
Davis trailing by 22. Take 10 more off. That one's left. Lost that leverage.
She knew it when she let it go. As soon as she slid, she knew she got it too far to the left. How many lefties do we have in the field today?
That's a really good question. And one I can't say right offhand, even if I went down the roster list.
I know I had one next to me during qualifying.
Just because I don't know everybody as well as I know everyone on the national tour. But Shelby, Stephanie Cooksey, there are 2 more in my head right now, so I'm thinking at least 4. How about that?
Wow, remember what I was talking about with those kickback plates in the back? It popped off and came back and hit out that 9-pin.
Well, sometimes you need those breaks to rein in matches.
Without those breaks, we don't win titles. That's how I see it.
Chia looking to get back on it.
She
flush
got a
again.
little bit on that, just a little bit. She knew it too. It's almost like she grabbed it a little too much. It held though.
Here's a look at that spare from Shelby. Talking about the kickbacks being favorable.
Yeah, it certainly did, didn't it?
Gia not wasting any time too. Pick up the ball. Let's get into almost like Shannon Puhalski, Aaron McCarthy-like pace. That one's in. Oh, it holds.
And it held. And she knew it too. Once again, held it just a little bit, and she could have made a change because of grabbing it in the last shot and making that move, bringing herself a little bit more inside. It held enough to stay where it needed to strike.
Now Davis in a must-strike situation. That was maybe her best shot of the day. That was phenomenal.
Perfect alignment off her hand, beautiful, clean. Execution was spot on, and it went right into the pocket for a solid strike. Now I hope, thinking in terms of what she's been going through, is capitalizing on this. So for this next shot, what is she going to do? Is she going to make an adjustment, or is she going to try to do the same thing with the light mixer?
Poll results, by the way, on who you got. 60% of you voted for Esther Chia. 40% of you voted for Shelby Davis.
That time she pulled it, and she got the strike.
Good break. They almost again a must-strike situation, it feels like, for Shelby. Understanding that Chia is more than likely, you assume she's not going to stop, right? So the only way for you to maintain or to have an opportunity to win, of course, is to keep striking and hope Esther gives you a break at some point. Someone asked, would I be at the Lucy? Yes, I will. I will be there. Like Esther. Oh,
Wow. Again, somehow that got into the gutter and that kickback. I'm not quite sure if the 6-pin popped up a little bit and then knocked out the 10-pin. That's what it looked like.
This is so interesting, right? Where we can see both things happen. We talked about Brittany Kenny having a great look early on the fresh and qualifying, and just not having the same ball motion. Now we're seeing pins kind of start to fly, and you're getting hits that we didn't really see at all during qualifying, but we see them now in the step ladder finals. Gia, that's
got that two inside, but it might come back up. Wow, she got it a little. She got it two outside. It's still picked up. When you're talking about what happened with Brittany, you often wonder, in this situation, ball opportunity, or what bowling ball opportunities do we have to use? Maybe because she thought this bowling ball during the first match was going to work because of what she saw in qualifying, and didn't know if she needed to change or not. Esther, I don't know if she was throwing this IQ for the qualifying. Perhaps because it was working well for her, she stuck with it. You also, though, too, is she's got lane play on the right side, so Brittany could have moved the oil around with the transition to create what Esther needed for what she saw during qualifying.
Look at that that 6, the double bounce.
You don't see those often.
As a Chicago Bears fan, when we say double bounce or double doink, it's a bad thing. But it's a great thing for Esther Chia. Another great shot on the right lane.
Shot. She stuck with her gut instinct of playing the pattern in the same spot as she did on the shot before, and it worked for her. I forgot you're a Chicago Bears fan. Yes, I know you and I grew up in Chicago.
It's brutally difficult at times. But there's optimism, as everyone knows. There's optimism here from Shelby Davis, Nicole, because this one's not over yet.
It's not. And there's a chance Shelby could throw another strike, have 4 in a row, and now Esther's got to figure out what to do next.
Big shot, Davis, to set it up.
That looks like it's going to go.
Oh, when she trips the 6. Had to have it.
We saw a lot of the trips 6s and the trips 4 today. But we also saw a lot of pocket fours, pocket sixes.
I got to tell you, quick shout out to Oklahoma Christian and the program that they have built. The women's team went to NCAA last year, so this is their second year coming up at that level. Wichita State will be an NCAA team as well. Chia, you bet.
Beautiful. Utilize the friction down lane and allow the ball to go into the pocket.
The pace has picked up tremendously. Of course, you see the strikes, and that contributes to the added pace. Now, Chia acts, of course, in the 260s, but right now, a mark, good count, she's going to be advancing, or else Shelby Davis could have a chance to steal this one.
She's got it off of her hand clean.
Chia didn't like it. Oh, wow. And you talking about getting out of a serious situation.
She missed inside. And again, going inside, unless there's hold down lane, it's gonna go right, or gonna go left. Sometimes I wonder when I'm watching bowling how I flip things around with direction.
Happens to the best of us.
So now Esther's got to pick this up.
This is a must make, and she will need 9 on the fill to shut out Shelby Davis. But first things first, spare is made. Here's a look at the previous shot here. There's a little left from the start.
1 to 2 boards left of where she has been with most of her strike shots she's thrown today.
So it's simple. I'm sorry, I miscalculated on our math. I beg your pardon.
You know, math is hard.
She needs 7. What throws me off is the scoring system now includes the next frame, so I was counting from that perspective. My apologies. So 7 here.
So it's got to go in.
10 is even better.
10 is in. 10 is in. So Esther's going to move on to the championship match for a chance for a title.
249 for Esther Chia. And, boy, you got to give it up for Shelby Davis, the 21-year-old from LaPorte, Texas.
Yeah, not too far from where I live in Houston. And being a college player, coming from a great program, she's held her own. I look forward to seeing her at future events, especially on the national tour.
She made an all-tournament team. She's got one of those down in her career, and it looks like she's going to have more of those.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was awesome to see Oklahoma Christian come on board on the NCAA side for our women's bowling, and also now having Wichita State. And again, these college players, they've got those tools now. They're unstoppable. So to have her out here and competing against us, she's held her own today.
Pretty impressed. She was at -16 with 1 game left, and had a chance to get into the 220s. You know, she wasn't sure, obviously. That would have certainly solidified it either way. She got the first one in the 10th, and I would just remember her reaction. She left a 6-pin on the next shot. She missed it, and then she was very disappointed and you know, thinking that
she wasn't going to make the cut.
Yeah, that pin might have been the difference. You never know. But
she was a couple of pairs down for me, and I had seen her miss her 6th pin, and I could see her crying, and I think she didn't realize she still had an opportunity to make the top 4.
Which also let me know that she was not score watching, which, you know, for some players that's good. For some players it's not a good thing. It all depends on that individual, but pretty impressed with what Shelby did here. 249 to 234.
Watch out, PWBA. We're going to see Shelby's name up there again on the TV show in the future.
Pretty impressive stuff. All right, folks, so Esther Chia is going to face the #1 seed, Raina Davis, as the college bowling trend will continue. Davis heading into her graduate year, her first of graduate years, at Savannah College of Art and Design, or SCAD Savannah as they are commonly referred to as. Their head coach is Katie Thornton. Katie, I believe, is up watching at this point, if they are not involved in any Junior Team USA activities.
That's right. They're in Korea for the Worlds.
That's right, because Katie is in Korea helping coach the Junior Team USA men's or boys and girls squads to what is some hopeful gold medals, of course.
They finished doubles to
I believe so. I don't know if it was today or yesterday.
Well, we also have to remember they're a day at 15 hours ahead of us, I believe.
Yes,
I think that's what it is.
It is indeed tomorrow.
Well, maybe she woke up when she found out. You never know.
I can't confirm, though, that she was up. Because
Good.
I sent her a Facebook message. First thing I did was check the time.
To make sure.
And I was like, it's about 6 a.m. So at the very least, she'll see this at a reasonable hour. But I'm sure she is watching. All right, folks, so we'll watch Raina Davis. And you will get a chance to see which of the 2 bowling balls you might be able to win here. Right?
Oh, that's right. You got the next 2 bowling balls up.
We've got 2 bowling balls. So let's go with Hammer.
Go Hammer. Go Hammer.
Again, same thing, folks. We're going back to back, so these will be quick. If you're watching in full screen, please exit out of full screen mode. Again, please exit out of full screen mode so you can see the prompts in the lower left third of your screen. The Hammer bowling ball giveaway is underway. While that is happening, Nicole, kind of break down what you see from Raina here.
She's more inside. She's playing, looks like 15 to 12. It was hard. I didn't really see the shot off of her hand as well as I have in the past. I know when we talked with her, she also had talked about wanting to play a little bit more inside than everybody else. She's got the rev rate to do it too, where she's able to play that angle.
Few more seconds before submit entry will appear, and that's where you'll want to click to enter.
I think as she's figuring out where she wants to play for this championship match, she's going to remember where the transition is and decide, is she going to try to play a little more inside of where Esther is at, or is she going to try to line up with Esther and play the bump off the back to get it into the pocket?
Make sure you click submit entry, folks. Thanks for that information. Additional info from Anna. The doubles finals begin tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And go on YouTube to search Terrence Yaw. Terrence has been live streaming. It's on his channel. And that is where you can watch Junior Team USA and all of the nations represented at the World Youth Championships in the IBF.
Jillian won bronze in singles, correct?
I do not know.
I had seen the...
No, that was Annalise O'Brien.
Annalise O'Brien. I'm sorry. Okay, I wasn't sure. Thank you. Did we have any of the guys win a medal in singles?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Congratulations to Jose. Jose has won a Hammer bowling ball choice. So, Jose, same thing. If you are listening, which you are,
Of
right?
course.
Because you click the button, but you could just click the button and not be listening. So that is the thing. You heard the situation. Marketing is going to reach out to you. Give them about 2 weeks at this point. If you don't hear anything, reach out to marketing@bowl.com. Congratulations and thank you again. And now, on to our final bowling ball of the day.
Motive, right?
Storm.
Storm. Sorry. Motive was
you're
earlier
okay.
today.
Motive was game 8 of qualifying. So shout out to Motive, Storm, Hammer, and Brunswick. Same thing, folks. We're going back to back like Drake, although Drake's been on the losing end of a couple things lately, so I don't know if we want to go with Drake, but
Nice play on music and
but our what do we looks like maybe a ball return perhaps for
I think so.
all right, again, Storm right coming up next, folks, so don't leave your computers. Do not go back into full screen. I'd love to thank Storm too. I want to thank Kegel, Lane Talk as well, all proud gold partners of the PWBA. Kegel, Storm, Brunswick, and Lane Talk. We appreciate all of what they do.
And without our sponsors, our tour may not be here. So thank you for supporting us on the road and media days and all the things you do for us.
Raina Davis, 22 years old. She is from Oklahoma City.
Hometown.
Just down the street, folks.
Hometown. She's got the crowd behind her. Family, friends are here. She's got people watching on the live stream. I can not imagine how she's feeling right now. Although she's a experienced collegiate player, bowling for national championships. So it looks like she looks comfortable watching what she's doing during the practice.
She's looked pretty comfortable all day, too. And I would say the same thing for Brittany Kinney. She looked great, too. She finished 4th today. We'll get into the prize fund a little bit here in a minute. Shelby Davis from Oklahoma Christian, fantastic job. She finishes 3rd. And now as we move on to our final match. And Loma, congratulations to Loma. Loma has won a Storm bowling ball. And folks, that will conclude today's giveaways. How about that? So again, Loma, same thing in the situation. Marketing will reach out, give it about 2 weeks. If you don't hear from them, then send them an email at marketing@bowl.com. But they've been pretty responsive, typically and generally speaking. I know this week is busy, so I would not anticipate an email this week. If you get one, well, that's even better. Well, you never want to win practice, but I don't think Raina Davis has missed once.
No, she hasn't, and she's had light mixers, pocket hits. She is playing more inside than where Esther is currently. It'll get interesting if Esther stays in the same area of the lane. What happens with the transition?
Raina will have choice of lane and, of course, who's going to start. So, what would you think in this situation, right? And again, we talked about Esther and her experience. So whether Esther finishes the match first or last, I feel like it's not going to bother Esther in that situation.
No.
So from the Raina perspective, if you're her, what would you choose?
I would want to finish last. I think I would. And I say this because then I can get an idea of what I need for a chance to win the title.
Oklahoma regional champion. Raina has elected to have Esther begin the match on the left lane.
And Esther is starting off the match. There could be strategy with this.
How about a round of applause for these two ladies? Pick out your favorite player, cheer them on. Ladies, good luck this season.
You got a few folks watching. I just realized, folks, that if you've been trying to text me, and sometimes we get viewers and people that I know are texting me, and maybe they know something and they'll send it to me, but I just realized my phone is off. Oh. It's dead.
Did you not charge it?
No, I'm bad at that. Bad at that. Ask my wife.
People have your number. There's lots of people who talk to you.
Yeah. I went to check for something, actually. I was going to send Damon a text. I wanted to know the first, what was the opening match score.
Oh, shoot, and I didn't even see it. I wasn't even really watching it. No, I mean, I was watching it, but I wasn't watching it. You're gonna need to charge your phone before you leave.
It's in the car.
Okay, looks like she's playing in the same part of the lane.
Great shot to start.
Great shot. Yeah, it looks like her strategy is to play in the same part of the lane she's been doing for most of the tournament today, after coming off of the second match.
Raina Davis, again, 22 years old, about to begin her graduate degree in creative business leadership at SCAD Savannah. First one is left, and probably a few nerves on that shot. And she leaves a 310.
She was inside of what she was throwing for her practice. Nerves, maybe a little overexcited. Although watching her body language, it looks like she's focused. And she's going for the big baby slip. Split.
Well done. That's a way to open up a title match, right?
Gotta get the excitement going.
To make a 310,
Sure, why not?
pretty impressive. That'd be the last pair I'd want to shoot.
She's good at it.
Just me. I'm only talking about me.
Not for you. What about a 710?
I almost would feel more comfortable because I know I'm probably not going to make it.
Okay, she is a lot more inside than Esther. Looking at where her feet are at in relation to where she's thrown the ball, at least five boards left of Esther with her footwork, which means Esther's going to be potentially pushing the oil to the left if she continues to play outside.
We'll take a look at Reina's shot here in a moment. Esther Chia got here by winning the semifinal match against Shelby Davis.
Yep.
Great shot again.
Esther's in the same spot as she was before in the second match. She's using the same ball. She's keeping her ball speed and rev rate the same as she did in the second match. She could take advantage of it because she played the same part in that match. So as long as the transition holds for her, she's got the entire lane available to her if you think about it.
Coming off a 249 game. Already has the early double.
Again.
Chia gets some love down lane, and that's what she did not get for stretches during qualifying.
Watching her ball exit the pin deck, she's got it in the right spot off the break point. The entry point is fantastic to drive everything back. What's interesting is when she released the ball, she didn't like it. She threw her hand out to the side, like she didn't like the shot coming off of her hand, so it held.
Back to Davis. Third frame. And that is through the nose 3-6-10. So the right lane has produced a 3-10 and now a 3-6-10. I mentioned, let's take a look at the strike we talked about on the left lane for Reina. That's on your screen. You can see the contrast and lay down entry or angle, I should say, through the front part of the lane between Reina and Esther.
They're different. The one is playing a steeper angle than the other.
Title match. And the first open that belongs to young Reina Davis. She's got mom in the building, Christy, dad Brent, sister McKinley. All in the building here from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Three-time NAIA champion. In fact, they're in the midst of a three-peat. The SCAD women handling business at the NAIA National Championships.
Katie has done a fantastic job with this program. SCAD has been one of the dominating forces on the men's and women's side in college bowling. And to see them a three-peat this year is fantastic.
Davis.
It held a little bit. She had a little hold at the end, leaving a high flush 4-pin. So for Reina right now, she's got to clear her mind and figure out what can she do going into the next shot. Esther right now is locked in. Esther hasn't made many mistakes today. And Reina needs to think, okay, what can I do for this next shot coming up to calm myself down, to get it to the break point where I need to throw strikes.
Spare there from Reina. If you're just joining us, this is the title match here at the PWBA, Oklahoma Regional. My name is Emil Williams Jr. Big thank you to Nicole Landry for joining me for tonight's stepladder finals. Esther Chia, the number 2 seed, taking on Reina Davis, the number 1 seed. One match to win $1,600 in a spot in the regional showdown in December. Chia.
It's going in. Yep.
High flush again.
Once again, she's playing the part of the pattern to let the ball walk into the pocket. She's locked.
Yeah, it is much like clockwork right now for Esther. Great rhythm, right? And that helps when your carry is improved.
Yep, absolutely.
You can get into a rhythm, and that was the opposite at some parts. Again, I talked about from the middle to the latter parts of the qualifying block today for Esther, who did qualify as the number 2 seed actually moved up a few spots. She was in 4th for what felt like a good portion of the 8-game block. Looking for 5 in a row.
Little
Chia.
inside. That's might hold. You talked about rhythm, and when you're throwing a strike for one shot and then you're trying to throw a decent shot the next shot and you're leaving a wrap 10 or you're leaving a pocket 7 pin, your rhythm gets disrupted. And you have to think about, okay, what did I do here which I didn't do on the last shot to fix it for the next shot?
Forgot to run the Who You Got poll.
Oh.
But I would have been interested to see what the percentage would have been for Raina Davis, number 1 seed. Esther Chia, folks, if you've been following the national tour, you know that she and Malaysian teammate Jane Sin have been on this journey to the United States alone this year. It's just been those 2 players. Their schedule worked out to where their Malaysian national team responsibilities or tournaments, there just was a gap during the PWBA schedule, which allowed them basically to be out for the entire season.
Wow.
Davis.
Ooh, she got the break. Looks like she moved, got the ball more to the right where she needed it to get it into the pocket. Yes, it was still high. The good thing is the 4-pin fell for her.
That was big.
That was huge. I remember when the tour first started in 2015 and the Malaysian team and the Singapore team were coming out and bowling the tournaments and having their entire team out here with us and seeing how excited they were to be a part of what we were creating here in the United States for our women.
That late trip on the 4. Real time, Davis, 6 frames.
She made an adjustment. She made an adjustment. One of 2 things. She found a way to calm herself down to execute, and she moved a board to the left.
That's a huge double. Keeps her, in the match, especially when you're bowling and you start to feel like, all right, watching the opponent, and all of a sudden things are starting to run out. But Chio not wasting any time.
That's got
Another one.
another one.
Somebody cue DJ Khaled.
You need to find some music and put it on every time this happens.
Other finishers. I think we need some licensing for that. You see other finishers are top 4, and then 5 through 13. We did pay 18 spots today.
We were a sold-out field, too.
55 entrants, first place 1,600. Chia, 7th frame, did not like.
She got some hold, and if she let it go, she knew.
When you're in the right part of the lane, you're in the right part of the lane.
Yeah. Hold is good for when we're trying to throw strikes.
18th place was the final cashing spot to receive $260. First, 1,600. Second, 800. Third, 600. Fourth, 500. Again, the winner earns a spot in the regional showdown.
That's a good shot. Come up. Mixers. Now we got a match.
Yeah, this is starting to kind of shape up just like the previous match did. Right? Shelby got off to a little bit of a slow start, started to get into a rhythm, middle of the game. Same thing with Esther Chia. She started well. Then all of a sudden, right, a late non-strike, no opens for Esther, but one non-strike late allowed Shelby potentially to have a chance to win. Could we see that again here?
We might. All depends on what she does on the shot. She
8th
got
frame.
it in the right spot.
Bang!
Yeah. We were talking about the college bowlers and their experience in these types of formats. When you think of college bowling, you're thinking of team environment. When you're dealing with an individual event like this, you've got to figure out a way to get yourself calmed down because you're starting right away. You don't have the 5-second, 10-second, 20-second, maybe a 1-minute break in between shots. It's go, go, go here.
8th frame, Esther. Can she continue? No. And here we go, Nicole Landry.
Yeah, we've got a match. carry. Watching where the pins went. It almost seemed like her ball didn't quite drive where she needed it to drive to get the mixer to carry out the 7-pin.
Seven pin taken care of. Our final look at those who cashed today. There's a look at 14 through 18. Shout out to Michaela Morgan, who gathered the final cashing spot. Someone you know a little bit about, Nicole.
Yes. Yeah, when she bowled with for my team at Upper Iowa before our program got discontinued last year. She's now bowling at William Smith with Heather Sterner's program.
And Heather was watching earlier today. Boy, if Chia doesn't strike here, we got ourselves a good one.
Looks like she doesn't like it off of her hand. Still.
Every time she's done that on the left lane,
it's
it is
holding.
held.
Yeah, it's held. It has held.
The body language suggests absolutely not. The lane.
Is telling a different story today.
Lane 19 is saying, no, it's all good, fam. We got you.
We've seen her last few shots on 19 hold and pocket. If it's working, why stop?
Got that right. Now Davis can put all of the pressure on Chia. Oh, come on. Maybe. No. That was the one. And she knew it.
She needed that strike. High pocket flush. Looked like the 7-pin fell behind it and didn't have enough energy to kick it out on the bottom.
We'll wait the spare here. I said the same thing about all three of these collegiate players that we've seen today. Raina, in the step ladder specifically. Raina, Shelby, Brittany. Raina Davis, Shelby Davis. I believe no relation. And Brittany Kinney. All three of them are performing admirable. Not showing, yes, some nerves, but really goes to show what good youth programs do, what good high school programs do, and certainly what good collegiate programs do to get players ready for these moments.
Let's see what she does in this shot. Clean shot off of her hand.
The shot. I'm going to go back and show the one in the 9th frame and see kind of how many pins made contact with the 4-pin there. It was that opportunity.
That looked like the 2-pin that came around instead of the 7-pin.
It was there.
So Raina, if she throws a strike, she's going to have to put pressure on Esther.
Well, if she throws them all, Esther would need a mark in the 10th. And now that scenario is a little bit different. If she were to shoot 227 there, Esther would have needed a mark. 9 out would have been 226. And now 217. Esther got to keep it on the lane.
Well, and Esther's also finishing on her better lane too. She's consistently thrown strikes on lane 20.
216 for Raina Davis. That was a well-bowled game. But now, Malaysia. Jane Sin has won a national title. C.T. Rotman. Sophia has won a national title.
So this is for the
Chia
title.
for regional. Through the nose, 3-6-10. But mathematically, it is over. I tried to build that up, folks, as best as possible.
I think we all were trying
hoping that Esther would strike and savor that moment.
Yeah. I'm guessing
sometimes it doesn't work out.
No, I'm guessing she just wanted to get the ball out there.
Oh, absolutely. She knew the
mathematically knew she was going to win the title. she was consistent all day today, played the same part of the lane, hardly faltered, had some hold, took advantage of some breaks.
Even though it's not a national title, I'd have to imagine specifically for Esther, right? This does mean
it's got to feel good
and have some significance.
It means she's going to go into the regional showdown in December.
That's right. She gets to bypass qualifying at the regional showdown and go directly to match play, where the winner of the regional showdown will get their national tour entry fees paid. Bang on the end for Esther Chia. And she is a regional champion on the PWBA tour. Congratulations to Esther Chia. The magical moments for Malaysia continue. I got to tell you, sometimes I think, as you know, right, when you bowl in front of your hometown, it can go the opposite way, right, the opposite direction.
Yes.
But Reina handled that so well, and she bowled so well all day, lined up. It was fantastic.
Her college experience shined out there today. All the ladies from the stepladder, their college experience shined today. We have a bright future for our tour.
All right, we're going to have Esther in the booth, so I'm going to try to get her on camera. Nicole, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time, and great to see you back out on the lanes.
Thank you. It was great to be back, even though I didn't bowl so good.
And then, will you be at the Lucy?
Steve and I are in the wait list, so it's
Okay.
a wait-and-see game. If not, I've got a couple of other tournaments coming up, and I'm going to try to hit one more regional before the end of the year.
Okay. All right. So we'll say for now goodbye to Nicole. Again, thank you again. Appreciate your offer.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
And hanging out with me. And folks, we will get Esther kind of on camera if we can. I'll get set up for that. Esther Chia, regional champion. She will join us next here on Bowl TV.
I will see you soon.
All right, hang tight, folks, as I get what I need done. Esther is standing by. I'm sure, can't wait to, I'm going to assume that she can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. All right, let's turn Esther up. Let's get the right channel. And let's do that. Okay. Esther Chia. First of all, congratulations. At first, when you won, after it was mathematically complete, I said, I know it's not a national title, but I have to imagine the amount of work that you've put in on this tour and the amount of travel and the hours, et cetera, and so forth, that this does have some significance. So describe what this win means to you.
Still trying to process it, but I think it's a good start. I mean, haven't really been bowling that well all season, but I feel like I've been improving each tournament. So winning this prove it to myself that I am getting better, and hopefully the last two tournaments in Detroit, I'll continue bowling well, continue the momentum, and hopefully I'll make the top 24.
I've been talking about, of course, the journey that you and Jameson have been on together,
Yes.
away from the team, not having the full squad behind you, and now both of you have entered the winner's circle here this season. What has it meant to be able to share these moments and this journey with Jane?
I mean, like, what I won today obviously cannot compare to what she's won, but it's nice to have a trophy of my own together with all her 3 trophies. So, yeah.
You've been bowling out, obviously, on tour for a while. And I think you spent some time even in the United States before the tour, briefly at Nebraska. So when you think about just kind of the start of you making the trip and deciding, hey, this is something I want to do, pursue some bowling at the professional level in the United States, and you think about where you are now, what are some of the things that have helped you kind of get to this point and then continue to keep at it when there could be moments where you're like, okay, hey, why am I still doing this right now?
I guess it's just become a routine for me because I'm also on the national team, and we train daily, so it's sort of a routine for me now. So I just, whether I'm in my slump or not, I just bowl and get out of the slump. Yeah.
The lane play for you today, I felt like you did not leave the zone that you were in throughout qualifying. You did run into some carry, and it kind of felt like a grind fest for you at the end of qualifying. Describe how you tried to get through the grind fest and then what you saw on the step ladder pair, which allowed you to strike a little bit more.
I just tried to stay out as much as I could, just changing balls. And then when I bowled, like you said, it was a grind for me. I couldn't carry the 10. Just trying to pick up spares, and then during the step ladder, I felt like my Ruby worked more than my V-bow. So changed to the Ruby, and it's just striking non-stop. There's quite a big area for me, as you saw just now. I missed left like a couple of balls, and it still hung.
You had a lot of holes.
Yeah, I did.
All right, so now you get a chance to you get a spot in the regional showdown. Now that's, of course, if you don't win a national title, which we hope that you do coming up. But you would be and are eligible for the regional showdown, which if you win that allows you to have some of your national entry fees paid for. I don't even know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Okay,
That's
yes.
cool.
So breaking news, yes. So if you win the regional showdown in December, any national event that you enter, it will be paid for.
Oh, I could come back again next year.
You could come back again next year. So with that information, I was going to say, are you coming back in December? But maybe with that info, you're going to definitely come back.
I might bring her along. She might come on holiday with me. It's in Orlando, right?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
Orlando.
Fun place.
So Disney's opportunities are there. All right, so what's coming up for you next?
Nothing much actually. Just going back home, continue training, and nothing much. Just gonna take a long break. I'm kind of tired actually.
But not Malaysia home yet.
It's Detroit. No, I'm gonna bowl Lucy after
Right.
this, and then to Detroit, and then back home.
I heard that the chat was thinking that we were talking about a partner. I was like, the last time we talked about it, they were looking for a partner, but it sounds like you have one now.
Oh yeah, like a super last minute thing.
Who are you bowling with?
I'm bowling Marshall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
I got lucky.
We'll shake that
I
out.
don't know if he feels he's lucky or not, but I got lucky.
Well, hey, listen. Well, we got 2 champions bowling together. Esther, great bowling today.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You earned that.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, that is Esther Chia, and she bowled fantastic. And with that said, folks, man, Sooner Bowl has been fantastic. We thank you to Sooner, and on behalf of Sooner Bowl, I'd like to thank Visit Norman for their sponsorship of the event. Big thanks to all of the wonderful staff here at Sooner Bowl, and, of course, the PWBA Tour. They were great. The staff was fantastic. Mandy Halls was phenomenal. And I would enjoy coming back to Sooner Bowl. Certainly, again, I might even come a day earlier just to see a little bit and maybe take the field, if you will, at for the Sooners. Of course not, right? But nonetheless, well, big shout out to all of our gold partners, of course. Big thank you to the United States Bowling Congress and the BPAA and their respective boards. Of course, Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of the United States Bowling Congress, and the PWBA. Want to thank all of our gold partners, but specifically today, Kegel, Brunswick, Lane Talk, Storm. They were great. Motive, Brunswick, Storm, and Hammer for providing bowling ball giveaways today. And, of course, shout out to all of our giveaway winners. We had 6 giveaway items today. I think that's a record for me in one day. Mike and Diane won. Did we have 2 Dianes win today? I swear I wrote them all down. So Mike and Diane won Bowl TV t-shirts. Diane S. won a Motive bowling ball. Breakpoint Pro won a Brunswick bowling ball. Jose won a Hammer bowling ball. And Loma won a Storm bowling ball. So congratulations to all of our wonderful giveaway winners. Of course, thank you to the PWBA athletes. This was a fun regional. And again, it goes to show what college bowling really can do, folks. 3 of the 4 players were currently or just ended their collegiate careers. And Esther Chia actually did spend a little bit of time at Nebraska, as I mentioned. So college bowling is amazing. It continues to be undefeated. And the preparation that they are adding to some of these young careers is fantastic. And certainly you, the Bowl TV community, for hanging out. We appreciate you. It's a fun week. I'm off to Junior Gold tomorrow, so I will see you in Michigan. I'll be at Oak Lanes starting probably tomorrow night throughout the rest of the week. Appreciate all the crew there. And we got PBA 50, of course, going down as well. That too begins tomorrow, so still a lot to look forward to. The next PWBA event, Jeffrey, is indeed the Lucy. That will be at the end of July right here on Bowl TV. I believe it's the 25th through the 28th, respectively. So I look forward to seeing all of you from Copperfield Bowl regarding the PWBA. Esther Chia is a regional champion, and she represents, of course, Malaysia. So Jane Sin, a phenomenal year. She could be Player of the Year at the national level, and now Esther Chia gets a regional title and an opportunity at the regional showdown as well. So, for everyone involved, big thanks to Damon Sirocco, our tournament director, again, Mandy Halls, and her entire staff here at Sooner Bowl. And visit Norman for their sponsorship of this wonderful event. My name is Emil Williams Jr. We say so long for now. This has been a presentation of the PWBA Oklahoma Regional. You watched it live and only on Bowl TV. And remember, bowling lives here.